I just don't understand how someone could do that to someone. I don't. I was so... Somehow Jake got my phone and his phone number in my phone so I could text him later. Jake and I became really good friends. He thought I was cute, I don't know. And we kind of like were talking, if you will. I guess we just really started to like each other. Got really close, so fast forward. Him and his brother moved to LA and we stayed talking. Every single time he would come back to Ohio to visit family, I'd be like the first person he'd call, thing. We'd hang out like nonstop and then he'd come back to LA and whatever. After about 6 months of that and like just texting nonstop, he was like, yo, why don't you come out to LA? And I was like, what? What do you mean? Like there's no way. He was like, well, why don't you just like fly out here for 2 weeks and you know, just see how it is, see if you like it, and I can introduce you to a bunch of my friends. I can introduce you to modeling agencies and we can just kind of get the ball rolling on this whole Team 10 thing. All right, yeah, let's do it. I flew out to LA for 2 weeks. We were kind of, we weren't together, but we were definitely a thing. It was like the cutest 2 weeks of my entire life. Like it was so adorable. He was so sweet to me. We started to like really like each other. I met with 5 modeling agencies. 4 out of the 5 offered me contracts like right off the bat. Damn, why haven't I done this sooner? Like I had no idea of my potential. Like, okay, I have to make a big decision on which modeling agency to sign with and like what exactly to do. So after the 2 weeks is up, I thank Jake and Logan for letting me stay with them and having the best 2 weeks of my life. And I flew back home to Ohio. Fast forward to summer 2015, packed all my shit up, bought a car, drove out here with my mom, and started living in LA. At that point, Jake and I were still kind of like together, like on and off, like whatever. I don't even know how to explain it, honestly. Like I'm uncomfortable talking about it because like I don't even know what exactly we were. To this day, I still don't know exactly what we were. So then we start collaborating, having so much fun together, sleepovers, the whole 9 yards, like head over heels. I was head over heels for this kid, like legit. I would do anything for him. That's why I signed a contract for 20% of my life for 5 years. Because I believed in him and he believed in me. During the summer, I moved out here. Him and I were kind of, like we were together, but like we weren't dating, we weren't official, we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend, but we were like kind of together, whatever. So I would just always see that he's hanging around like all these girls and stuff. It's like, oh, whatever, like I didn't think anything of it, like, and then he always argued that like we weren't together, so I'm not cheating, or just like stuff like that. Around November of 2015, I was living in the model apartments. I had to move out of there. Jake was like, why don't you just move in with me? And I was like, oh yeah, that'd be lit, let's do it. And I move in with him, sleeping in the same bed, basically together at this point, but without a title. But then he would always have girls over in front of me, and I was just like, what the frick? So then we're not together. But then he would like play all these mind games with me and just be like, yo, like don't get mad, having a girl over. And he did that like 25,000 times. I would be like in our room, like editing or doing something, and then all of a sudden he'd like walk in and be like, yo, like can you leave please for like 2 hours, like can you go upstairs, or can you just like leave for a little bit? And I was like, why? He's like, oh, like I'm having a girl over, we're gonna hang out in here. Okay, I was heartbroken, like legit heartbroken, but I never showed it because I don't know why. And he would do that all the time. So then as time goes on, just brings more girls over, and then he would be with me, and then he would have a girl over, and then 2 days later he'd be with me, and then we'd be together, and then we'd not be together, and then we'd fight, and I'd be pissed because he'd bring girls over, and he didn't think he was doing anything wrong. And I was like, you can't just be with me one night and then like the next night treat me like shit and bring a girl over. I don't know, it's just really messed up. But I let that shit happen because I was just like so head over heels. Like I was just like, frick it, why not? Whatever makes him happy. We all move into a house, having so much fun, creating videos all the time, like content nonstop, photo shoots, videos, everything. We're killing it. Like we're still together at this point. Like this whole time we were like together, but we weren't. I don't even know how to explain it. It's so weird. So then we move into the Team 10 house and he creates these rules for everyone. If you're not up by 10 a.m. filming, then like you get fined $50 and like you have to pay $50. Like no alcohol at the house, or you get fined $500. No smoking. Every single guest that you had over had to be approved by Jake. Niels would always ask to have friends over. He's like, yeah, that's fine. But the second I asked to have like a guy over, he would be like, no, absolutely not. And I'd be like, why? He'd be like, I just don't want him here. But then he would have girls over like all the time in front of me, and then he would tell me all this stuff. He told me he loved me one night, and then like a couple days later he flew out this girl from Ohio. They were like hooking up in Ohio, and he flew out this girl and was smashing her for like a week. That was like a few days after he told me he loved me. Are you serious? Like, how could you do that to someone? How could you just like, I don't even know. I would be like editing one night, and then all of a sudden like I'd hear the front door open. Jake would come home with like a girl. My stomach would just drop. My heart would just like start beating like so fast. I felt like I was gonna like be sick. I can't even explain to you what was going through my head. There's nothing I could do about it because like it's his house. I'm in a contract with him. I'm basically where I'm at because of him, and like I didn't really have a place to tell him that he was wrong, even though he was really, really wrong. And that happened all the time. Like, I wouldn't even want to go back to the house sometimes at night because I just knew that there was a girl waiting, or there was a girl there with Jake. I couldn't deal with it. All these girls would come over to the house. I would have to look them in the eye, shake their hand, and be like, yo, like, nice to meet you, and play like a dope girl that knows what's going on and has to be okay with it. But like, I wasn't okay with it. Like, I had to look these girls in the eyes and like know that they were hooking up with Jake. And like, I was a bitch all the time. Obviously, I like didn't even want to talk to him. I came across as obviously, and like he knew exactly what he was doing to me. He like played all these mind games. He would literally tell me he loved me one day and then tell me he hates my guts the next day. Like, I don't even know. So he flew out this girl from Ohio, right? She walks in the door. I have to like be like, oh hi, yeah, nice to meet you, whatever. I'm like a bitch. I'm like literally a bitch. Like, I don't mean to be, but like, dude, you're smashing the guy I'm like in love with. And I would be like downstairs in the kitchen, like making breakfast or something. I'd just get back from the gym. I'd be cooking food, and then all of a sudden I'd hear them upstairs like I could hear it. I could literally hear it. Like, do you know what that does to a person that you like love, and then you could just hear them like banging another girl upstairs? And that's happened so many times. Like, it's not, something clicks in your head. Like, you want to kill someone, but you want to cry, and you want to get revenge, but you can't. It's like so hard to explain. Like, if you hear it, if you like physically hear this going on, it makes you crazy. It makes you go insane. I was literally insane. Like, I couldn't even think straight. So I would just go upstairs to my bathroom or my bedroom, and I would just cry myself to sleep, like night after night. And then I'd wake up the next morning and I'd have to like say goodbye to these girls, or I'd have to like see him. I'd have to see his face day after day and be on camera, be like, hi guys. And then like the second the camera was off, I hated him. I hated him, but I loved him at the same time. And then he would try to make it all better, and like everyone knew it wasn't better, and I knew I was doing it to myself. I should have moved out, but I didn't. Now looking back at this whole situation, I really don't know if I loved him. I don't know how I could love a person that treats someone like that. I don't know if I was in love with him or the idea of him or who I thought he was. I think I was just addicted to the pain of wanting someone so unattainable. I loved getting hurt by him. Like, that's how much I cared about him. And he would hurt me day after day, and then we'd have to be on camera, and it's just not a good situation. It was both of our faults, really. He shouldn't have treated me like day after day and then expect everything to be okay, and I shouldn't have stayed. So it's a hand-in-hand situation. I did it to myself, and I know that. But at the same time, you do not treat someone like that. So whatever. My camera's about to die. I finally treated him the way that he was treating me, and he didn't like it. He got pissed and kicked me out. Like, the one time I decided to be savage like him, and it ended with me being homeless. And I was so shocked. I was so heartbroken. I never thought that someone could be so malicious and evil to kick me out of the house after I've done everything for them, helped them build an empire, a huge company, making them so much money. I don't understand how they could do that. So that was back in February, and it is now June. I'm still like not over it. I lost all my friends. Like, when all that happened, everyone kind of went to Jake's side because they're in contract with him, and because of, I don't know why, I really don't. And I lost all of my friends. I had nowhere to live, and Chantal was sweet enough to offer her apartment until I got my own. Over the past 3 months, I've been trying to talk to Jake, but he blocked me. He wouldn't talk to me. He just totally X'd me out, and he had the audacity to tell everyone that I cheated. I have no idea why. We were never together. There's literally a video of him saying that we're not dating, we're not together. But he told everyone that I cheated, so he didn't look like a dick that he kicked me out. I don't know. I just don't understand how someone could do that to someone. I don't. I was so, promised myself I wouldn't cry, and I don't want to cry. Ugh. I was so head over heels for this kid. I would do anything for him. I just don't understand how someone could fly girls out and treat someone like that. I did everything. I did everything I could to try and make it work. I literally did everything I could. Everyone told me to just leave, and I didn't want to leave. I have no idea why I stayed. I have no idea. No idea. If you guys are still watching this video, damn, you deserve an award, because I would have dipped out like 2 minutes in. I'm sweating, I'm sweating, I'm sweating. I'm gonna have a panic attack. Ugh. So then, what happened? Where am I? So he has the audacity to release a song basically bullying me, and I'm still not over the situation. Like, I still get really sad if someone mentions his name and I have to be like, no, I don't know him, or no, I just don't want to go back to that. And he releases this video saying, you know, these are the lyrics, and you know we kick them out if they're not with the crew. Yeah, I'm talking about you, begging for attention, talking shit on Twitter, but you still hit my phone up, whatever. Like, yes, I was texting him for so long because I still care. I wanted to try to mend everything, to make it all better, because that's the type of person I am. I can't just walk away from a situation. Like, I need some kind of closure, and that's why I kept texting him nonstop. Ooh, this is the best part. The other day I ran into Greg Paul, Jake and Logan's dad, and I was like, hey, straight up. He's like, shut the f up, get out of my face. He's like, get the f out of my face, go f yourself. Go back to Ohio, go back to Panera, you're lazy, saying all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, you're a great father figure for saying that. Just, he kept screaming at me, and then I started bawling my eyes out. I don't know what to do. I was like scared. I thought I was gonna die. I thought I was gonna get shot. So then, obviously, Rice and I start making a diss track right away. We start spitting bars, we're in the studio, we're creating all this heat, and then Jake drops a video saying, "Dear YouTube, I'm sorry." And he goes on to say, to everyone in this video that I hurt, I'm sorry. He didn't apologize to me directly. You can't say my name. You can be like, yo, Alyssa, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I hurt you. I'm sorry for all the shit that I put you through. I'm sorry that I released a song with all of our friends and just talked shit about you. I don't get it. You're not apologizing because you're sincere. You don't care. I know you. You don't care about people. You're apologizing because you got backlash from everyone on YouTube. Everyone's creating a reaction to your diss track, and it's all negative, and you want to be like, oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Like, no, you don't get to do that. What are you thinking? At the end of the day, you can't just say I'm sorry and take everything back. I'm hurt still, and you've hurt a lot of people. The damage is already done. You can't just kill someone and bring them back to life. It doesn't work like that in the real world.